Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 17th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes, worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we're complaining about an extreme way to motivate kids. This came from Slate.com's Care and Feeding column, which is a parenting advice column. And someone wrote in, allegedly, you never know with these things. But anyway, she wrote in because she says her husband wants to give their almost 13-year-old a $5,000 year-end performance bonus for, quote, getting good grades, completing chores, and putting in her best effort in her extracurricular activities. Now, there are many things that we could say about this. Like, first of all, putting in her best effort in her extracurricular, like, who defines that? And if you have to pay a kid to be in an extracurricular activity, why are they doing it? That doesn't make any sense to me, because you're already spending a lot of money on it. If it's anything like the activities my kids have done, I don't need to pay them as well as all the dues and everything else.
Right.
And then part 2, $5,000. And part 3, a year end. Okay, so what child is going to, in January, think, I better get good grades because 12 months from now, I'm going to get a monetary bonus? Like, none of these things.
Makes sense.
But it would be nice if they did. That would be a good way to train them, maybe.
Yeah, but don't you think that the delay is far too long to be effective in any way?
Well, maybe that way the dad never has to pay off. Well, I'm sorry, honey. See all those months you didn't do so well?
Yeah.
Put a note in your file.
Maybe next year.
Then you'll get a good month from the kid before they forget again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I don't know.
The fact that it's...
And as a kid...
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just, trailing off of what Catherine said about who decides what's good or not. I mean, is the kid given a list of behavior outcomes beforehand? Do they know what they're working towards? Are you, doing progress checks along the way? Are you, what are you doing to support your child's success? It's just too much. As if it's ridiculous. Can I say that? Can I just come out and say that and be judgy about it?
Well, I mean, part of what makes this, so extra is just the amount of money that we're talking about. But, if in some cases and for some kids, maybe this is the way to go, but it's just automatically sounds ridiculous because of the amount of money involved.
Would you feel the same if you do all these things all year, we'll give you a new iPhone at the end of the year? Is it just the fact that it's cash that's offensive? I mean, not that an iPhone costs $5,000, but it's a pretty pricey gift.
And well, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, I think that the amount of money stated here makes it sound more extreme than maybe it is.
Yeah. And I think that didn't they say in the article that they can afford it? And so
the dad's position who wanted to do this was, if we can afford it, let's spend it on our kid.
Yeah.
But what does a 13-year-old do with $5,000?
Yeah.
Put it in the bank for college, honey.
Right. So, and then it's like, then it's not motivating.
Stocks. Yeah. So. I don't know. I think, my feeling about this sort of thing is that nobody knows anything when it comes to what's going to work with a particular kid. And if parents want to throw something non-abusive against the wall and see if it sticks, you go. If either he's going to be out a lot of 5,000s or the kid's not going to make it and not going to get the bonus, and then you find something else. But I mean, I do think that that rewards are better than punishments if you can find the right thing.
Yeah.
Which is going to be different for every kid. If he has a super organized, super competent daughter who plans well and knows what she wants, it's possible that would be effective for her. I don't know his kid. On the other hand, there are kids where you have to say, do this thing right now. I'll give you a cookie. Okay. Now do this thing. Do this thing. Here's a cracker. Okay. I'm putting these jelly beans along the floor to get you to where you need to put the thing away. So, good luck to you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just resentful because I have yet to find anything at all that
is, I think, possibly the nut of a lot of people's complaints against this. Is that even if I could afford that, it would not work.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being so smug, you rich dad. But if there were some version of that you could afford that would work for your kid, you would do it, because you will do anything that works that is non-abusive, because it's hard to motivate young people.
I fail to see how this is not abusive. This is totally inappropriate.
No. Smacking her if she doesn't do good is abusive. Giving her money may cause her character to not be so good, but it's not abusive. I think it's dangerous to say.
I think it's abusive. Indulgent.
Indulgent is a different thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I say abusive, what I mean is physically. You can't eat unless you do this. Mm-hmm. If you don't do this, I'm gonna hit you. Over the course of the year, you meet all your expectations and the goals that we have set together for you, and I will give you a financial reward. I don't know. Seems okay to me. I don't think it'll work, but it seems okay to me.
Right.
And if it's not going to work, then who cares? But it's like the thing we did last week about the mom who brings all the kids to the birthday party. Boy, it'll get you click the link to that article. He's going to what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to motivate kids. It is so hard to motivate kids.
Yeah.
In the short term, in the long term, it is hard to motivate kids.
And we've talked about this before, because, what you really want is to promote intrinsic motivation. I think that's what you're getting at, Nicole.
Yes.
That
Agreed.
It doesn't do that at all. But, by definition, intrinsic motivation has to come from within the kid. So how do you...
But sorry, I'm just going to backtrack here because this is the educator in me coming out.
Yes.
When I spoke to that a couple minutes ago, but you can't expect children to do things if you don't explicitly teach them and give them, show them and demonstrate and model.
Okay.
So rather than just throwing money at something and expecting the child to meet your whatever esoteric expectations, it's a recipe for failure. You're just setting your kid up to
necessarily know that he's not. I mean, if you teach your kid all these things, and if you set these goals for your kid and give them the tools and help them to do it, and then they are successful, you can't give them a reward at the end?
Yeah, okay, I see that, but
I mean, it may not be the case in this thing. We don't really know.
We don't know. But I'm just saying, fair warning for all the parents out there who just want to throw money and hope that the problem goes away.
Yeah, fair point.
It's highly unlikely. Yes. You've got to put some time and energy into.
Yes. As part of a system in which you are, in an age-appropriate way, teaching your child and giving your child opportunities to succeed all through the year and building towards this year-end bonus in ways that are healthy and teachable, I guess, then, that's what you would be hoping is happening. But I always had to do things on a much shorter term than that. And
totally,
I do try to teach, but motivating kids is hard. teaching them things also sometimes hard for those of us who are not educators. And, golly, if they'll do it for the crackers, I'm going to give them the crackers. I don't care that the cookie's bad for them. If they'll do it for the cookie, they're going to get the cookie. I used to give my kids fake money as rewards.
Mhm.
They must have been able to do something with it, though.
To save it up and trade it for something.
It's the end of the year, honey. Congratulations. Here's $5,000 in Bitcoin. Enjoy it. Spend it all in one place.
Oh boy.
One day you'll be able to buy a Tesla if you perform admirably for sufficient amount of time.
I guess. I don't know. It just depends. It requires a lot of, I think obviously this is a very clickbaity article,
Yes.
and this requires a lot more thought than just throwing money out and saying, if my child, I'm going to give my child a performance review,
Right.
and if they perform well, they're going to get money. I mean, there's a lot more involved in it,
Yeah.
as with everything
Yep.
that we talk
Absolutely.
about.
Yes.
It's very
All about
situational.
gray areas.
Yeah. So, anyway,
In some, parenting is hard. Thank
Yes.
you. We should just record that and just make it as part of our outro before the music starts to play. It just goes, parenting is hard. And then there's, people second guessing you on podcasts. You can't get away from it.
it's being judgy and all.
We will give you $5,000 in the imaginary currency I gave my children for listening to this podcast.
Well, yeah, it is hard. So parents, sometimes we just have to do what we can, and
Yeah.
I won't be too judgy about that.
We'll just suspend your judginess for the moment
I'll
because
suspend it for the moment.
Right.
Oh, well, anyway, that's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about our kids' favorite things, and then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our roundabout picks for this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.